Dr. Simpson, oh, how you love to challenge us with these amazing and just so deep assignments. This one is really important to me. I think it's going to be good for me to do this video because there's going to be a lot of mannerisms you're going to need to see in order for you to get the either A, sarcasm, or the gist of what I'm saying. However, I'm driving home right now from a long day, long week, 60 hours, going tomorrow again, so that's good. The first thing I wanted to touch on was COVID has affected a lot of people. That's obviously, especially professionals, but something that's been kind of like murdered or genocided, and put through a genocide, is restaurants. A lot of the time, and this is speaking from personal experience, and I know a lot of my colleagues feel this way or have this experience as well, but a lot of the time, entry-level job positions with service, in the service industry, such as a waiter, busser, host, hostess, whatever it may be, those are like the jobs that 16 and 19-year-olds get because they're entry-level jobs. They don't really require any sort of skills or, formal skills. So with that, you gotta recognize there was so many restaurants shut down. I even had the restaurant that I served at shut down for good because the business wasn't doing well and just all that. It was really bad. But that's one thing that we gotta talk about. Another thing is that I don't think a lot of people will talk about, but is how prevalent video gaming is becoming and people making money off of video games. There's a streaming platform called Twitch, and basically what Twitch is it's like you watch me play video games and you have the opportunity to subscribe, comment, donate money to my cause or whatever. But there are so many kids that are wanting to make it big in video games. There's a guy named Ninja. I'm sure even if you aren't familiar with video gaming and professional video gamers, I'm sure you know who Ninja is because he makes millions of dollars. He makes so much money off of just having people watch him play video games. Another thing is there's a 13-year-old kid that literally had to go to private school because of how much money he was making and the amount of publicity he was receiving for going to a public school. He's 13 years old and he was making like over $200,000 a year streaming Fortnite. I think that's something that we need to take note of because there's a lot of things that like 30 years ago that wasn't even an option. 10 years ago that wasn't even an option, which is, I just think is so amazing. And then thirdly, here's the being blunt part that I mentioned in my introduction. Kids are just privileged. Like, their parents are allowing them to stay home. They're not making them go work. They're not making them earn a living. They're not making them contribute to the house. They're not making them pay their own bills and stuff like that. My dad and mom very actively told me that, like, whatever I wanted, I had to go get myself. Now, they helped me a ton with providing me, like, with gas and whatever it may be for my wrestling success. But if I wanted, like, a Game Boy or if I wanted anything, I had to find a way to make the money to get that. I feel like in today's society, it's just so normalized that kids just take what, like, they just use their parents' credit card or they take advantage of their parents' financial opportunities. That's something that I thought was really, really important to discuss. There's a lot of things that come to mind whenever you think about a 16, 19-year-old losing their job. Also, if you think about like 20 years ago, I wouldn't say 20 years ago, like 30 years ago, it was a lot more common for kids to work during school. Like, they would wake up, and this is such a cliche thing to say, but they'd wake up and milk the cows. They'd get the chickens' eggs. They'd do all the stuff. And this is a very rural sense, but they were required to do these things, and that was part of their living. Like, that's how they supported their family. That's how they did this. But not many people need to do that. Not many people need to wake up, go get water from the well, go chop wood to warm the house up. There's a lot of things that are kind of lacking in today's society that back in the day, there was a huge discipline for. And then another thing is there's staffing is a great opportunity, because a lot of people are looking for the opportunity to have a job. Staffing is a great way to get people in the door in the organization. And if there's 100 kids that are looking for an entry-level job, that they just need experience, and 90 of them can't find a job at a restaurant because it's either closed down or it's not open or it's shut down for good, that's 90 kids you can put in an entry-level role as a staffing professional that could really optimize like an organization. Chances are they're probably going to work for cheap. They're not going to know left from right, so you can mold them in the way that you want them to be molded to. There's just a lot of opportunities whenever you look at staffing and the ability to put those entry-level positions back into, or those entry-level people, 16 and 19-year-olds, back into the workforce. 16 and 19-year-olds, I think, are lazier than they used to be back in the day. Even me, like, I worked extremely hard to be where I'm at, and I think it's just sometimes you need a little kick in the butt. But also, I just want to say thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I know it's not ideal, but I've been swamped with work, and you've been more than accommodating for me, and I really appreciate the time that this has taken out of your day to watch this video. So I'm really thankful, and hopefully it's good enough. If not, let me know, and I'll try to write it up. But this has just been super convenient for me, and I was in the car anyways, and I didn't want to listen to music anymore. So thank you, Dr. Simpson. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed the content.